Hey Austin, it's Liz King here, and today I want to talk about, is there opportunity for buyers around Austin, Texas? My resounding answer is yes, especially because yes, houses still cost money, but they cost less money than they did 6 months ago. If you are a buyer trying to get into a house, it's, with caveats, it's actually, there's still some great opportunity out there in the market. So let's kind of dive in. Quickly, let's start with interest rates. Obviously, interest rates have been going up, and that's all been part of the economic policy, aiming at reducing inflation. And what they're trying to do is, pull back on our buying behavior. Is it working? Well, it's certainly changing the way buyers are jumping into the market. As interest rates have basically doubled since January, it's making those houses a little bit less desirable because the payments have changed so much. So we are certainly seeing that buyer traffic is down, and that has also meant that inventory is up all over town. Back in February, March, April, I would show clients 5 houses in a weekend, 10 houses in a weekend, and say, okay, let's bid on 4 of them. Maybe you'll get one, but you are going to have to bid 10 to 30% over the asking price. Now I can show clients a house. We can look at it a second time. You can decide to offer, you may decide to offer less than the asking price and have a chance at getting into a house. So because there's so much inventory and homes are sitting on the market longer, we are seeing prices coming down. So before, low interest rates, high prices on homes. Now, as the interest rates have gone up, the prices have had to come down some. And so all of a sudden, that doesn't mean that the payments aren't, what they are, but it does mean that you need less money up front to just hand the seller in cash to get into a house. So it's weird. It's like, I actually see this as a time of some great buyer opportunity. I bought my first house in the 2008-2009 housing crisis that was going on. And what's amazing is, we were able to get into a house, but we were able to buy a whole lot more than we thought because of our timing. And so all of a sudden, when the market recovered some, we had a whole lot more equity than we would have had. So again, I kind of view this time when the prices are down some, I kind of view it as a great time to go find a house, and you have a whole lot of options to choose from. So just to give you a feel for things, I used to run this search where I would just say, show me houses in Austin for sale in one weekend, and houses available under $750,000, under $1 million. And there would be, 150 houses. And now today, in Austin city limits, under 1 million, it's 1,917 houses available. Under 500,000, we have 605 options. Again, just quantity of options, and some of those are much more quality of houses than you could have gotten 6 months ago. And again, you can actually see a house and see it a second time. I love it. Okay, housing's a long game. If you're going to try to buy a house and sell it in 6 months, you are not going to win price-wise. You are not going to win because there's the closing costs and there's some, there's unpredictability in the market. However, if you view housing as a longer game, if you're going to stay in the house 3 to 5 years, I think are thinking about the short-term and long-term economic activity in Austin. I've just been attending as many courses as I can, reading as much as I can about Austin and our recovery. And is it going to be a short recovery or a long recovery? Look, if you're trying to buy a house and make a profit in 6 months, don't buy a house. However, housing's a longer game than that. And so if we think about Austin, over the next 3 to 5 years, you get to be in your investment, you need a place to live. And then also, is Austin going to start having some more appreciation again? The economic specialists are saying, yes, based on the fact that we still have businesses moving here and people moving to Austin because of the great quality of life. So if people are still moving here, that is bound to help keep prices up. And so again, as far as is now the right time to buy? I mean, there's always going to be some unpredictability. There are things that are beyond our control, things like Ukraine and gas prices. But I do want you to think about, when there is growth in a city, because it's such a great place to be, that makes me very hopeful for the future. So what are my other buyers doing? A lot of buyers are kind of like, okay, pause, wait, I need to look, I need to research, I need to think. And I think that's kind of what people should be doing right now. And I think I have a lot of people who said, and as soon as those rates go down, I'm going to jump in. Okay, as long as you try to jump in before everyone else jumps in, because realistically, let's be frank, when everyone rushes in and demand spikes, that's going to drive prices way up. So there's a part of me that wants to tell people, get in now, buy something sooner rather than later, and then refinance when rates are better, but you're locking in today's lower price. So, at least something to consider. I think a lot of people, I've set up a lot of searches where it's like, start sending me stuff in different neighborhoods. Let me see what these houses look like. Let me see what those houses look like, so I can start to figure out where I want to be, so I'm ready to act when it's time. I think that's a pretty decent strategy. Again, just start to think about, how do you compete well against the other buyers, and not wait for rates to come way down, because it might take a while. And also, once the rates come down, the prices will start to go back up. And just so you're aware, with rents, because people are like, okay, well, I'll rent for a year. Well, as basically the owners of all the landlords of all the rental properties received their tax bill, the tax bills aren't kept for, year to year changes. What happened is that the taxes went way up across the city this past year because of these incredible appreciation gains. That has raised rents across the city. And so we are seeing rents that are going up and up and up. And I was talking to a friend, and they said, look, everyone's paying a mortgage. It's just if they're paying their own or if they're paying someone else's. So it may not be worth it to totally wait for these rates to come down when your rent is going up, but that none of that money comes back to you. So, as far as this question of will it be a better time to buy in 6 months or in a year? Oh, that's a great question. If I had my crystal ball, I'd let you know. But I think that, A, you have to live somewhere. B, better to buy. Does that mean lower prices? Because what if interest rates are higher? C, better for who? The buyers or the sellers? Buyers want prices low. Sellers want prices high. It's all a matter of perspective. So anyways, if you are looking for the ways to get the keys to your kingdom, DM me, Liz King, and I would be happy to help you.